Hi, so this is our lesson on tangent segment and secant segments. So here we go. So this is how I would kind of start the class. I would say, hey y'all, let's find the area of each of these circles, and this should be stuff that you guys already know from prior knowledge. So the area formula is A is equal to pi r squared. So where r is my radius. So you guys go ahead and pause the video and see if you can answer these first two questions. All right. So, and then if you got that, you should have gotten this. And we would plug that into our calculator. We will get, hang on, let me get my calculator. Wait for it. And I'm just going to use 3.14 for pi. There's, on some calculators, there is a little pi button, but if you put that in your calculator, you should get 346.185, or I'm just going to say 19. And then we have miles. So I'm going to put miles squared. All right, and then for the second one, we'll do the same thing. The area is equal to pi times 11 squared. Put that in your calculator. You should get 379.94. Okay, and then again we'll do inches this time, inches squared. Okay, then down below, all right, I'm gonna see if I can move my camera down. Okay, so below now it's asking for the circumference. So the circumference is just, so C is equal to 2 pi r, or your, wait, what? Yeah. It's just 2 pi r. So you can, or it's just your diameter times pi. So again, I'm gonna just, you can pause the video, try these two, and then we'll get back in a second. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. 2 times pi times 11.1. I'll put that in again for pi. I'm gonna just use 3.14. So okay, and if you put that in your calculator, you should have got 69.71 or 708, which I'm just gonna round up to 7.1, and then inches. Okay, and so we're not gonna do inches squared because area is the only one we're gonna use squared. Okay, all right, then the second one you should have gotten 2 pi times 3, and that could, you could either write it as 6 pi, or you could do 6 times 3.14. Which is 18.84. And then our units are yards. Okay, so those should have been pretty easy. They're just our little warm up, how to kind of start the class for the day. And then we're gonna scroll down here. Okay, so this is the core concept. This is what we're dealing with today. So we're talking about tangent segments and secant segments. Basically, this is the external segment. This is our secant segment right here, and then your tangent segment. So it's saying PS is our tangent segment, PR is our secant segment. So this is the whole thing, and then PQ, which is this external segment, is just on the outside. So that's kind of definitions we're working with, okay? So let's go ahead and go down to some of our problems. So let's say you're given 2 different chords, okay? And y'all should have learned all these vocab words. Basically, you have a line going through a circle. It's called a chord, okay? And so this is the formula we're going to be using. Basically, all this is saying is we have EA times EB is equal to EC times ED. So basically, if you have two chords crossing over each other, you're just going to multiply these two sections together and set it equal to also the other two multiplied together. So it's pretty easy. So we're going to take this first chord, we're going to do 3 times x equals 6 times 4. And that's basically it. From there, we're going to solve for x. So we'll do 3x equals 24 divided by 3. X is equal to 8. And we're done. So you guys pause the video and try the second one. All right, you should have gotten, if you did that, you should have gotten 2 times x plus 1 equals 4 times 3. And then I'm going to distribute here. Make sure you distribute because that's where a lot of people go wrong. So this is 2x plus 2 equals 12. I'm going to subtract 2. This is 2x is equal to 10. Divide by 2. And you should have got x is equal to 5. If you got that, give yourself a pat on the back. Okay, you're doing a great job. All right, so let's try the next. Let's try some others. So the other thing we're going to be dealing with today is tangent in segments. Tangents in segments. Oh, let me fix my camera here. Okay, so the formula for this one's a little different. Basically, we're taking this external segment, going back to our vocab that we just talked about, EA, and we're going to square that one that's on the outside. Then we are going to multiply this longer segment out here, okay, or the secant, sorry. We're going to take this tangent, we're going to square it, and then we're going to multiply the two parts of our secant together. So EC times ED, which notice ED is the entire length. So it's not like the last one where we kind of multiplied these two together. It's this one times this whole thing, okay? So the one on the outside times the whole distance. So I just want to make sure we got that right. So let's look at this first one. We're going to find our tangent, which is out here, and I'm going to do x squared equals, and then the one that's on the outside, which is 1, times, and then our whole distance. What's the whole distance here? In my class, everybody would say 4. Oh, good job, class. Okay, so this is, we're going to multiply by 3. So basically, we're doing 3 plus 1, which is that whole distance, okay? So this would be 4. So we'll do 1 times 4, which we all know is 4. Yay. Okay, I'm going to take the square root of either side because that's the opposite operation of something that's squared. And we'll get x is equal to 2. Okay, so pause the video and see if you can try this next one. Okay, so this next one's a little different from the last one we did, but it's still the same process. Again, we're taking the tangent out here, which is 7. Okay, and notice that the tangent doesn't have a line going through the middle of my circle. Okay, so that's kind of what sets it apart from this one over here. So we'll do 7 squared is equal to, again, the one on the outside, times those two added together. So that whole length, which would be at 5 plus x. Okay, so then from there, again, we got to distribute. So we rewrite this as 5 in parentheses, 5 plus x, and we need to distribute. Okay, so this is 49 equals 25 plus 5x. Okay, and then it becomes just a normal solving problem. So we subtract these, we get 24. Miss Garner needs help with her math. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, and then we divide by 5. So 24 divided by 5. Gives me, you can probably beat me to this, 4.8. So x is equal to 4.8. Okay? And so that's kind of how we do